Hello friends, welcome back to the asp.core Core video tutorial. Today in this video tutorial we are going to see what are the hosting models in asp.NET Core. In our previous video tutorial we have already seen the basics of hosting the asp.NET Core application. As per my promise, in our previous video tutorial I have told you guys that I'll create a dedicated video on ASP.NET Core hosting model. So here I am coming with the fresh video series. In today's video tutorial we are going to see what are the hosting models, basically in-process and out-of-process. What are the benefits of in-process hosting model, why Microsoft has offered in-process hosting model after 2.2 from 2.2 ASP.NET Core and the higher version. Okay, so this is Abhishek Petri. Let's get started with the article that we have published on infologs.in. So here I have already loaded the infologs.in ASP.NET Core video tutorial series. Whatever we are creating a video series that is based on this published articles on infologs.in. So currently we are coming here on the article number 17. Okay, all the videos are already published on Infologs channel, so you just go to the Infologs channel. Under the playlist you will see the ASP.NET Core video tutorial playlist here. Okay, just watch it out, and if you have any query just put that into the comment section and I'll assure you that I'll respond in the minimum time. So in today's, as per the next article, that is the .NET Core and ASP.NET Core loggings. So before that I thought I should go for article number 24, that is the hosting models. So let's get started with the ASP.NET hosting model. What is it, and how we can get benefit of in-process hosting model. Okay, so here let me clear with you that whenever I talk the in-process model, that means the ASP.NET application is hosted inside the IIS, okay, with a different process. And if I talk about the out-of-process, that is also available to host in IIS but with a different process. Okay, so what do you mean by process? That I'll talk just after a few minutes. Okay, before discussion on in process, we'll discuss the out of process. What is out of process, and what are the disadvantages of it? Okay, so whenever Microsoft releases the ASP.NET Core 1.1, I think, or we can say the before 2.2 versions, they have a single hosting model called out of process. So out of process model, it kind of provides us a direct access in process, which improves the throughput considerably, using an easy mechanism that allows the switching between all these processes. So if you go just a little bit down, okay, here is a simple image that shows the out of process hosting model before the version 2.2 model. Okay, so in a single word, if I want to explain you what is out of process, then in my previous video tutorials I have spoken a word called Kestrel web server. Okay, so if you directly want to understand what is out of process, you just keep in mind this Kestrel web server. Okay, so if you focus on this in this image, so here we have an IIS, okay, and under the IIS we have a w3wp.exe. Whatever the applications we are accessing through our IIS, that is hosted or that is processed by this exe. Okay, so before the 2.2 model, So there was ASP.NET Core Module v2. Okay, that we have to externally install the IIS components, runtime components, which process the ASP.NET Core applications. So here is a simple application that is hosted under IIS, ASP.NET Core Module v2, which is responsible for serving the ASP.NET Core responses. Okay, the same way we have two applications that is under the IIS, site1.com and site2.com. Okay, so and then later the request is go back to the server, Kestrel web server, which is internal server provided by the ASP.NET Core, which is responsible to provide the output as per the request. Okay, so all the HTTP requests were transferred to this Kestrel web server. Okay, so just think of it just like a proxy server. Okay, so you have a internet facing server, front facing server, let's say that is a IIS, which is capable with the ASP.NET Core module v2 that is installed under the IIS to support the ASP.NET Core application. Okay, so as soon as user requests or access the ASP.NET Core web application, that traffic is sent or the traffic in the sense the request, all the request sent to the Kestrel server. Now Kestrel server is capable to do the particular things related to the ASP.NET Core. So it will get the request, process that request, generates the appropriate output and send it back to the IIS, and then IIS will send the response to the requested user. Okay, this is how all this information, all this round trip is working in the out of process model. Okay, so because of this there will be some overhead because IIS is getting request and then the whole there is a different server who's process the actual request, generate the outputs and send it back to the main server. Okay, so here we have a different ASP.NET Core application hosted and under the Kestrel web server, and all the information is all the processes run at the .NET.exe. Okay, so whenever we request through IIS, that is processed by w3wv.exe, and for the Kestrel web server, that is run by the .NET.exe. Okay, so here you can see the out of process hosting uses IIS as a proxy to forward requests to the .NET.exe hosted console application. In our first video tutorial, I have told you that the ASP.NET Core is nothing but a console application. Okay. Yeah. Now coming to the InProcess hosting model. What is InProcess hosting model? Okay, after 2.2 version, they have added the IIS HTTP server within the WP W3exe. Okay, if we set the InProcess hosting model, now the flow will be changed. Okay, so what will be the flow? So the whole IIS is there, request comes to the IIS, and this IIS HTTP server will process the whole ASP.NET Core application. So that request doesn't need to forward to the other server just like in previous out of process hosting model does, right? And the separate ASP.NET pool that needs to be host the application. So here we have a pool inside the IIS, that is the pool 1, and that is responsible to process the ASP.NET Core application via IIS HTTP server. Same for the application 2. Okay, within the InProcess hosting, your application runs inside of the IIS application pool and uses the IIS intrinsic processing pipeline. Okay, and that is done because of IIS HTTP server. Okay, now in out of process there is a Kestrel web server who is processing all the requests, and if you go with the InProcess hosting model, the IIS HTTP server is responsible to process the request. Okay, so for till now we got to know that which one is better. Okay, after 2.2 or from 2.2 version, Microsoft has added this in-process hosting model, and that is good for the performance related things. Okay. Okay, as you know, the answer that is obviously the in-process model. Okay, so how do you enable the in-process model in ASP.NET Core application? So there are a few changes in the application. Let's see here. ASP.NET Core hosting model in process. Okay, you can put this kind of settings in your project.cs project file. So I have already the same application that we are following. So just double click your project. So here you can add the in process and out of process things, or you can also go ahead and go to the property section. Okay, and under the debug section, here you'll find the hosting model that is in process, that is now by default because I'm using the 3.1, 3.0, 3.0. Okay, one more news that I would like to tell you that on the 14th of January, Microsoft releases the 3.1.1 version. Okay, they have some bug fixes and built-in support for the IIS runtimes and all that support. Okay, you just can go and watch the Microsoft dev blogs that I have already shared on my Facebook and Twitter handle. Okay, so here you can change accordingly whatever you want, right? Now just go back to the article. Okay. Okay, in our previous video tutorial, we have also seen how we can publish the ASP.NET Core applications. So now the application is run. So let's check whether it's in process request or processed by the Kestrel server. So just click on localhost under the network tab. Under the header section, you'll see, okay, the server is Microsoft IIS, so all the requests are processed by the IIS HTTP server. Okay, so let me do one change over here, out of process, save it, and again run it. Okay, you can do it from here, or you can also go ahead and right click on the project and go to the properties under the debug section. You can also make changes out there. Okay, so under the network section, reload the page, click on the one of the requests. So here the Kestrel server should be there. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so this is how the in process and out of process works. Okay, one more thing that I would like to check, I have a disabled cache. So what we'll do, the whole loading point finished is 92, or we can say the 1.54 seconds. So again I'll reload it. So it takes 1.23, 1.22, 1.25, 1.25. Okay, on an average we can see the 1.25 is general for loading the simple HTML page by the Kestrel server. Now again I'll go back to the in-process hosting model, in process, and let's run the application again, and let's check the loading time, whether it's taking the same or it should reduces to something around 1 second. Or okay, so again I'll go to the inspect network. I have disabled cache. I'll reload it. Okay, it took 4.49 seconds. Control F5 again. It's 1.31. It's 1.27, 1.17, 1.21, 1.21, 1.19, 1.11, 1.22. Okay, so we can say that it's hosting your application under the in-process hosting model. It's a beneficial in terms of the performance point of view, right? So just try to explore more things related to the in-process and out-of-process hosting model. As we have talked, there is a single change in hosting model in the web.config file, and I have also noticed that while publishing the file, by changing the hosting model, it doesn't take effect. So be careful while publishing the folder. So just clean up the existing files and republish the folders and republish the project in the same folder, so it will get the new one every time. So okay, so okay, so there are few limitations of Kestrel server. That is, the Kestrel server cannot share the port as the IIS is doing. The lifetime management, if you run your app without any support infrastructure or crash or failure, will shut down the application and take your site offline. So there is not much more flexibility for the Kestrel server for the lifetime management. And the static file serving, the Kestrel is not very good with the static files handling currently and compared to the IIS optimized static files caching and compression infrastructure. Okay, so all these are few points that can be improved if we host our application under the InProcess model. Okay, so as we have already talked about, that is V2 model and the Kestrel server is both are involved in the out of process model. Okay, so here I have few screenshots that I have taken. So if you put a breakpoint and check the call stack, and if your application is out of process, so all the requests are processed by the Kestrel server. And as we talked about InProcess, there is a simple IIS HTTP server who is responsible for processing all the requests. Okay, like see here, just change to the IIS server and it will go redirect to the IIS HTTP server handler. So now the exe. Okay, if you go for the out of process hosting model, the .NET.exe is responsible for processing all the ASP.NET Core requests, and if you go for the InProcess, that is WP W3 exe will process all the, that is again go for the IIS. Okay, so here how we can detect the request who is processing the request, I have already shown you before. So just click on the your request and check the response header who is processing the server Kestrel or its IIS. Okay, that's how we can check the performance as well. So the conclusion is, whatever we have seen in process and out of process, the Microsoft is providing the in-process hosting model from ASP.NET Core 2.2 plus. So we should host our application. If you want to host your application on Windows machine, then definitely we should go for the IIS. Okay, but if you have a specific requirements that my application should work without IIS, and I wanted to host my application under the Windows service, that is also possible, but that will work as out of process hosting model. Okay, so all the requests, if you host your application under the Windows service, then the process, all the processing will be done by the Kestrel server. Okay, and we have also discussed the some points, that is performance point of view and all that stuff, but still you have to do some R&D on your environments before going for the production server, right? So here is a specific how do we can test it. Just put this controller in your application and hit the breakpoints and check the call stacks. You will get all the information available. Okay, and if you want to use if you want to configure that, we have already done it. So just go to the CS project file and put this in process and element, so it will automatically publish accordingly. Okay, so if you wanted to learn more thing about ASP.NET Core, yes, we have articles published on the infologs.in. Nowadays you'll see a lot of tutorials on the youtube.com. okay, so but what is the without theory, what I believe, without theory you do not understood all the process purely. Okay, so this is infologs.in, which provides the articles with video tutorials. If you go, let's say I wanted to learn the dependency injection, so let's go to the dependency injection article, read everything whatever we have listed over here, and at the end of the video you'll see point of the tutorial you'll see the video. Okay, so both we should go for the video section as well as the articles. Okay, so this is the only website which provides you the article with the video tutorials. And if you have any question, just put down in the comment section, so our team will provide you the feedback as soon as possible. Well, this is Abhishek signing out. Thank you for watching, and in the next video tutorial, from the article we'll took the code sharing in the .NET Core. Okay, so how the .NET Core evolved, what is the base classes for the .NET Core, and the other stuff. Okay, so thank you for watching, and don't forget our motto, that is never stop learning. So thank you for watching and keep learning. Bye bye.